Imagine that an altcoin not only has potential but is also supported by Trump and the US government. In this video, I'll show you why ONDO could be just that. We'll break down ONDO's unique market position and explain the revolutionary approach to asset tokenization in more detail, and why that could lead to exclusive growth. So, what is ONDO actually? And above all, what makes it so special? ONDO is not just another altcoin, it's about the tokenization of assets, of real-world assets, to democratize access to traditional financial products. And here are the reasons why this is so important. ONDO allows the use of US Treasury bonds and similar investments in the blockchain world. Additionally, ONDO has a strong focus on DeFi, or decentralized finance, exists in a way that hasn't been seen in any other project. Moreover, ONDO can ultimately tokenize real values, or RWAs. Maybe a little discourse again. What are RWAs actually? Well, they are real assets like real estate, bonds, or commodities that are ultimately tokenized and brought onto the blockchain. What advantages does that have? Well, on one hand, there's of course liquidity, transparency, and accessibility. With ONDO, you can invest in US Treasury bonds, and ONDO has already formed partnerships with, among others, BlackRock, and ultimately ONDO can trade traditional assets more efficiently and transparently. Yes, let's first get to my 20 metrics. If you're new to my channel, I analyze, do altcoins really have 20 metrics? Data and facts ultimately result in a percentage so you can assess it. How strong is the altcoin actually? And then I'll make a realistic price prediction with different scenarios that could be possible. If you want me to explain the 20 metrics personally, I'll link it up here. Video for you. Have fun with it. Then let's get started right away. The market capitalization. Here we have a mid-cap altcoin, so there's still potential there. But of course not as massive potential as, for example, with low-cap altcoins. How much potential does ONDO have? Because what about now? We'll get to that later. I can only say this much. It's going to be exciting. In that area, definitely a solid 6. Then there's the circulating supply. It's always important that it's over 30% so that it ultimately isn't inflationary. Here we are at 32%, which is of course just above the threshold. It's definitely, let's say, suboptimal because it can lead to that many tokens will still come onto the market in the future, which can of course lead to price pressure because they will be sold. That's why in this area it's only a 7. Then the roadmap. How strong is ONDO's roadmap? They have strongly expanded in the past, especially in the DeFi space, but of course also increasingly in the end, RWAs tokenized on the blockchain. Here, a few more pieces of information will be linked. What ONDO has achieved so far in the past and what the roadmap looked like. So how strong is the team actually? And they have experienced people there, both from the finance sector and of course from the blockchain sector. It's definitely a solid mix and extremely important. Additionally, the CEO has a background in investing. I will list the information about the team in detail for you here. In this area, strong news. What narratives does ONDO cater to? Here it is, the RWA sector. Extremely relevant for this year. Among others, BlackRock has its fingers in the pie. So a strong victory. So what problem does ONDO actually solve? In the end, they are bridging the gap between the traditional financial system and blockchain. They basically want to tokenize assets. As already mentioned, it's more efficient and transparent. And above all, that they offer US Treasury bonds is a huge advantage. That's why there are also strong 8s in that area. So, what about sustainability? And since they are based on Ethereum and Ethereum has transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake, the efficiency is definitely a bit better there. So in this case, that's why it's solid in that area. Then investors, how strong is ONDO's capital? They have Pantera Capital, but also Coinbase Ventures. And otherwise, they are extremely well positioned. As I said, they are ultimately supported by Donald Trump, and BlackRock also has its fingers in the pie. That's why they are also strong in this area. So who are the competitors? We have Centrifuge here. By the way, I've already done an analysis for that. I'll link the analysis here up. Feel free to check it out after this video here to ultimately have a comparison. What makes ONDO so special? Ultimately, that you can invest in US state bonds. About ONDO, that's definitely a huge advantage. Solid in that area, 7. So how does ONDO's marketing look? On one hand, they have social media, but they also have partnerships and they organize special events. Are they solidly positioned in that area? That's why it's also a 7. Stop! If you appreciate in-depth analyses, then I would really appreciate a like from you. That supports my work. Thank you very much for that. And if you don't want to miss anything, I upload every Saturday and Sunday and up to 5 videos a week. So I analyze altcoins based on my 20 metrics, mostly 100x altcoins, but also altcoins from the top 100. And of course, if you write in the comments which altcoins you'd like me to analyze, if you want, I'm happy to dive into that too. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe to my channel now and don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any more insights. And now we continue right away. How simple is the idea behind ONDO? In the end, it's easy to understand. On one hand, of course, there's DeFi, which is essentially decentralized finance, but also RWAs. And of course, the opportunity investing in government bonds through blockchain technologies. So in that area, strong 8. So what is ONDO's long-term vision? They obviously want to be the leader in the area of RWAs and in the DeFi space. Because they are extremely strong in America and supported by global players, they definitely have the opportunity to achieve their goals. That's why I also need a strong 8. Then it is to be deflationary, maximal supply, and they have a maximum supply, which is already very positive in that area. The next point is positive in that area, a 6. What does the fully diluted market capitalization look like? Is this in the strong area? And it is not overvalued, so that's a strong 9. So how does the liquidity look? This is at 0.083, which indicates strong liquidity in that area, so that's a strong 9. So how was the token distribution actually at the very beginning after the ID, for example? And it was fair. Above all, they also had lockup periods, which is always very good in that area. Strong 8 then. How does it look with the top coin holders? Are there too many? And it is the case that there are indeed some top coin holders. They own quite a lot of tokens, which is always a risk. But I will link more details for you here. In that area, that's why it's only a 6. So, what does the utility of the ONDO token actually look like? Here, ONDO offers staking. Then, of course, in the end, access to the tokenized assets and, of course, voting rights. That's why it's strong in that area. 8. Then it's about the ONDO community. They are active here on Twitter and Discord, so on the typical platforms, they are solidly positioned. That's why it's a 7. So an important thing, what are the events that are coming up in the future? What are the updates? Here they want to enter into further partnerships. They want to launch new products, and in the end, they also want to integrate new blockchains. What updates will be coming in the future, especially in the next 6 months? I'll link it for you here. In that area, it's a strong 8. And then we come to the result. Strength 74.3%. That's a strong result after the complete analysis and the current market trends. And of course, with the support of the US government and big players like BlackRock, it can be said that ONDO could experience strong growth in the asset sector. They have innovative solutions and are extremely well positioned for the future. And it's going to be especially exciting when more supporters join in. Let's move on to the price forecast. What scenarios are there? At normal market share, ONDO could reach 2.9. If ONDO gains significantly more market share and ultimately becomes one of the leading RWAs, it could be $7.25. And if ONDO is really adopted on a massive scale, especially in the US, it could see substantial growth. $7.25. And if ONDO is really massively adopted and gains massive growth, especially in the USA, could reach $14.50. That would be massive growth, and there's huge potential if you want to buy. I'm linking an exchange below where you can get it. Now that you know the potential of ONDO, and I'll also link it up here. An analysis that was also extremely interesting has, above all, massive potential. It really surprised me personally, especially in the RWA sector. So you have a good comparison with this analysis here. I wish you a lot of fun with the next video and see you soon.